moment of time that didn't pay off for Ninja Boogie.
They didn't get it while Chrissy got the regen rune of bot. Who got the bounty up at top then? Rubik did. I think they're across here. There's drawing on the map saying, take a look at these ancients, but it's not as though Tinker can take them with March anymore now that it doesn't pierce that magic immunity. I guess Beastmaster with the axes, yeah. Juggernaut can go in with his lifesteal as well.
The Beastmaster's doing okay at top, but it's not ideal. So I think that he should be sending a boar over to stack, because he needs a way to accelerate. That's a huge reason why you pick the Beast. The Radiant side, it's really stacked. Axe is getting over. He knows about the stacks, although it's only like single stacked, which is the best. But still, stealing this at this point is probably okay, and I think he's actually waiting for the Tinker to rotate over. He's got one level of Thunder.
Can he get the kill though? It depends on the spins. If he spins once or twice, then maybe. The movement speed advantage that he's got actually allows him to get a few right clicks in, but CK joins the party, slows it down, and Kang gonna bottle through the battle hunger. Living armor, healing Rio up, but he's in a pretty rough situation.
This is so funny. They can't.
His teammate here, Kang is actually in a lot of trouble here. One more right click, no!
It's from the laser.
Damn! CK will fall, but a trade for Axe will take this any day of the week. With the 2 rotations coming in, that was basically a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, that was really weird though, because Ninja Boogie should have known at that point, or not Ninja Boogie, Rio should have known, or is it Chrissy? Chrissy should have known at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah?
Oh no, it is Rio, my bad. Rio should have known at that point, with the laser, that he wasn't going to get that last hit off, and he was going to walk into a tower if that happened. I think he could have lived if that didn't happen, but at top, he was certainly going to be dead.
Oh, it was a good light striker Rave. He was going to turn and fight, but whirling axes. That blind heals JO up as they'll take down boys. Another good light striker Rave. But there's just nothing. Okay. I was going to say there's nothing to finish someone off, but I guess the right click in from Beastmaster will do just that.
Yeah, he's got an Orb of Venom and the living armor was used to heal up JO. That's honestly fine for Underminer though, that they lost the Lina, but they got a kill on the Beastmaster, and that was a 3-on-2. You're probably, yeah, you're definitely okay with that. And right now, Underminer are getting decent trades for everything that's happening. Like earlier, they killed the Axe, which wasn't a game-winning death. Like the first death, I was okay with. The second death, I definitely don't think happens if you play that correctly. But he saw Bloodlust. I'm gonna kill this Tinker.
I've got him in my sights.
It was so close, honestly. He's not the spin.
But this Orb of Venom is the nastiest thing I've ever seen. Orb of Venom plus the double bore. Blowing people down and doing that damage over time, it's really nasty. Does it actually tick through living armor as well? It's got a pretty low damage rate. So no, 3 poison damage.
I don't think it does.
Yeah. 375 gold item.
Yeah, then you might as well...
Completely mitigating living
then you
armor.
might as well always get it.
Yeah.
I don't see people always get it, so I assume it.
Cloud continues farming on the bot lane unimpeded as the Axe is headed into the dire jungle. But Troll is still a hero you have to contend with. He's farming up, phase boots all done and ready to go. Still sitting at level 5 though. Well, I guess it's only 5.5 minutes in. It feels like it's a lot later with all the action and movements in.
Yeah, there have been a reasonable amount of pauses as well. DA right now, he knows that the Tinker's actually used his laser right now, so he's trying to chase him down. He's got phase boots up.
He's got another health strike as well, but in comes Scarf Mage, slows Chrissy down. The melon's not enough, and the tower hits.
Oh no!
Hit level 1. And that's Soul Ring for the Tinker again. Rave, they've got that. Basically tunnel vision. They know they need to kill this hero, so they see the opening, they go straight for it, but one...
Outcast. There's 2 boards on him. The Light Strike Array hits as well. He's got Leech Seed, but it's not going to matter. This is going to be a death for him as well, and 5-2 for Underminer, and I think Chrissy especially thought he was going to get a free kill there because he timed it out perfectly. Like, he did what I would have done. He waited for the laser to hit. He knows that as soon as the Tinker gets out of position and wastes his laser, because the Tinker was just trying to use it to get more CS, like stop him from denying and stuff like that.
Take down towers and... Where is Kang? He is taking out the jungle stacks, sitting on about 600 gold. He'll hit, what, 750 from these couple of creeps. Top lane, JO given a lot of support up here with the smoked up Rubik and Triumph. Ready to go in, Jen. Moyle lifted up, and Jo looking for a quick and easy kill here. Like Ray hitting two. They turn things around. Jo might actually go down.
Oh, the living armor is able to keep him alive at the last
Oh, if only Lina.
level 5. What level is the beast?
It's almost level 6 as well, but not quite.
Yeah, if he was 6 there, they...
Yeah, you roar the tree and then you turn back around and kill the troll. Just make sure there's no leap speed, no living armor, nothing to keep that sustain going. Kang, he's got laser, and Chrissy's kind of like, okay, well,
running around. He's just trying to set traps now. Okay for him right there. For people wondering why I had to ask him what level it is, because our other PC is, so I actually have to cast off of Durka to convert, which is actually really difficult.
It's not the easiest thing in the world.
It's a really weird setup. So my analysis is just based on what he sees.
We'll try and look around the map and see what people are picking up. Ninja Boogie level 4, there goes Tranquil Boots, but 8 minutes in, a little bit rough. Oh,
that's another DC for the Giants. This isn't DDoS or anything, I'd imagine. Straight up ping issue.
yeah, I think if some of them are in Korea, they've got that VPN they have to play through to join into the SEA server, but...
You actually don't need a VPN. Korea to SEA, it's so low. I think the ping for us was like 7 and we didn't even... Maybe for Rave it's a little bit... Remember what their internet situation... In district to the left of Inch. Probably confusing you. I'm just... While we're paused, I'm just thinking about my Korean geography of where I remember everything was.
Your favorite restaurant?
This place called Kim Gane. You know, talk about to look at.
We have to look at RPGs. I'm taking And do you guys put your own music on? Cause
wait, don't go to a break. It's okay. We'll just ban
tomato soup. It was
being a foot.
That's what I'm asking. Asking that 3 teammates turn things back around onto Chrissy's TA.
Yeah, Chrissy was able to get one more hit with the DD rune and the melt hit applied. Would have actually killed him, but at the same time, I think he's just getting a little bit too overzealous. Like, dial it back half a notch, Chrissy. Relax a little bit. You're doing well in the lane. Just killed the Tinker by yourself, which gives you a really big experience lead. There's no reason to have to do anything more than that at that point.
Well, last game we saw Cloud have a pretty rough first, 6 or 7 minutes. This time, he's had, uncontested free farm pretty much. Axe for the first 2 or 3 was a little bit annoying, going up in the face of Cloud's Juggernauts, but right now, he's pushing out the wave with Ring Battle on, getting up to that tier 1 tower, doing a little bit of damage, but also, he's doing that little thing where you push out the wave, go back into the jungle, take 2 caps, and by the time you clear them, the new wave is there. You're basically, 2.5 times in your farm.
And for people wondering why heroes like Juggernaut, Troll, they've really come up, is that you can do this type of farming pattern. Like before, people would focus on zoning out the offlaner. Like this is actually the largest change in Dota, is that before you could zone out the offlaner just because of where the creeps would come to, right? And so you want heroes that can static the lane. But now, what you're going to see is that the offlaner is going to get farmed no matter what. And so you're almost just sacrificing that fact. Like you give it up. You're saying, okay, the offlaner will get some measure of farm. Instead, what I'll do is I'll triple my farm by pushing out the lane as fast as I can, getting lifesteal, and farming out the jungle. Like that has been such a huge shift in the way that farming patterns especially have changed. That was an interesting point, right? That taught you Dota?
Yes.
Why things happen, so
yeah,
mull on that for 24 minutes more. But that's honestly been such a huge change. Before, you would see both supports static out. You'd have to always have one support zone out. But now, the way that the offlane has changed and where the creeps lie, the offlaner actually gets so much more, and it's harder to just always devote 2 heroes. That means the supports overall get more, but it also means the offlaner gets a ton more on top of that, and the carries also accelerate and farm so much faster just by getting this item like this Mask of Madness. It wasn't just the fact that Jug got buffed, it was that the offlane was changed. That made the hero so much stronger. It's had like a weird effect on it. Now he just, like, look at him. He farms out the lane as fast as he possibly can, and then he's just gonna go and farm out the jungle during this time.
Like Rave are considering Roshan here. They've smoked up, cast at mid. Looks like an easy target for Underminer.
Oh my gosh. Paused again. Alright, so they're both teams are smoked up. It looks like they might go for some sort of engagement here. This middle lane, both teams look somewhat ready. Get into a fight. Underminers, their team is smoked up. Rave, they've got Chrissy smoked up, right? Is he? Am I going blind here? I think it's Jo. Yeah, it's almost like both teams have the exact same plan.
Yeah. But the thing is, Rave's smoke lasts a little bit longer. Underminer's is... Oh no, wait, did they smoke up again? They must have smoked a second time. Because they smoked from top and went through the jungle. And now they've got pretty much a full duration of smoke remaining. They must have smoked a second time once they got into the jungle, placed this ward. Yeah. And now they're going back through. Chrissy is not too far away from finishing that Yasha. 11 minutes in now. We've had 3 minutes of gameplay. And
dude, look at Rave's lineup. What magic damage do they have?
there, just bugging out and not actually showing. The trap right here.
Roshan has really small feet for... You know,
Puns.
let me think of some...
I'm pretty sure it's a no.
Top of water. It's a good ward to have down.
Especially now it's hit nighttime. They've even got Hellbear and a trap in the roast pit, but Jo...
Up for that.
Jo's back in the
Got his
jungle.
Helm of Dom. Yasha soon.
Dire's top tower is
Don't
under
jinx it.
attack.
Yeah, stop talk. It's kind of like that We Play situation. We Play, every time Kappa or I mentioned it in a cast or said, you know, soon we'll be casting We Play and then the qualifiers will kick off and the group stages will blah 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 blah, and then we'll get a message like, oh sorry, but it has been postponed by another 2 weeks, and then we've kind of just stopped talking about it, but...
Just mentioned it again.
Yes, well, it's at that point where we don't really expect anything of it. Next year! Now here goes the tier 1. There is splits available, but Rave aren't really in a position.
There's just too many marches down.
Yeah.
There's no... Pop the glyph because you have it up. Try to delay. Like, yeah, look at JS is not even...
Radiant's top tower
defending
is
that,
under
and
attack.
it's like a free tier 1 power, and that's the second one of
Dire's
the game.
middle tower has
Never mind.
fallen.
It's actually huge for map control.
Radiant's
Now
top tower
that you
has
lost your
been
bottom and
denied.
your mid tower,
Radiant's bottom tower is
it's
under
awkward
attack.
to get into these. Neo's so close to his blink. Don't want to take this.
Okay. One done. Tickets come in cloud with the Omni Slash will take down Leo. Flip tag is saved up in the stats. Chrissy flashing up against two of them, but in the middle of the march, Chrissy has no refraction. He's gonna no stick on.
What did the Rubik steal, by the way? Did he get Omni Slash? Yeah, he did. He stole Rubik. I thought I saw it, and he did. He ran out of mana, but still, you're okay if you're Rave with that trade. I mean, you still Omni, and if you can use the Omni Slash, maybe even potentially kill a high priority target. I don't know.
Well, 1-for-1 trade. The fact that Axe died but got his blink dagger on a TP scroll before that. And it's one of the situations where as Underminer, you're kind of thinking, okay, he didn't have blink now. He got a kill on Skywrath, but then we killed him straight after. He probably doesn't have blink yet.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. The scary thing now is that Underminer are heavily ahead, but Rave aren't out of this by any means. They can Roshan pretty much. Go for a 3-man smoke, pick somebody off, and then you rotate the TA and the troll. That's the play.
The good ward coverage here from Underminer though, watching for movement into that Roche pit especially. One up by the Ancients, there's not
I'm telling you, man, this is all a Roshan fight. Whoever gets the Roshan.
Oh, Cloud.
They're gonna find Cloud. He doesn't have his ultimate either.
Yeah.
Rio has a blink too.
Yeah, blink call into that Cloud now, gonna get slowed up.
He's gonna get off with the ultimate.
So a couple of ultimates that are expended, but
The slow actually isn't gonna affect him too much because the Culling Blade
Dire's middle
speed that he's
tower
gonna
is
get, and he's gonna
under
get Living Armored on top of it. They might want to try to turn for this too. Kanga's gonna get calmed up.
they've got the march down, but Ninja Boogie steals rockets, turns the damage back onto them. He
This
doesn't
is a
have...
first. I actually think Rave can fight this. Like, Axe has full
Oh,
everything.
he clicks and catches too! Gen Y boys but caught up. Lina cannot spam out of spells, but this is no rules of the real
Not
pretty
gonna be
low.
enough
It's not
damage.
gonna kill him.
This is actually just such a good fight right now for Rave. They're going to be able to take the Roshan or the bottom tower if they want off of this. Rio has done so much work. I mean, if you're Underminer right there, why take that fight? It's just so dangerous. You don't have marches down like you did for every other fight, and it's a 4-on-5 without your Juggernaut. And I talked about it for like 8 minutes, and look, this is the plan, man. I've been catching up too many Rave games. Like, I know this is, especially for if you're on the dire side like this, it's just, it'll give you such a big advantage.
Oh, they got Victor with the Hawk, who's able to rocket through, march across, but Roshan is a little bit hard.
No.
Leave it dire.
Unfortunate. I don't even know if that works, right? Right?
Well,
You
Roshan
can get
is
the
not
last hit.
magic immune.
Yeah, he's
like, got magic resistance,
Yeah.
like a shit ton of it.
You can get lucky. You could almost kill them. Alright, good job, Rave. You're winning the game now. Done a good job. They caught up in the net worth lead.
Dire's
Actually,
top
almost
tower
down
is
to
under
0.
attack.
I was going to bypass 0. That's like 1,000, 1,500 lead, I think, the way that's plummeting so heavily.
Yeah, and if I'm...
Holy
man,
crap.
if I was Underminer there, taking that fight at bottom, you know that the Axe still has everything up. Like, he ran into the jungle, and he was baiting out the rest of Rave. Getting into that fight, if you're an Underminer, there's no need to do it.
The thing is, Tinker walked into this spot here, and Axe was just standing there and was like, okay, I'm going to call you. You're not going to
that was
march over
perfectly
me.
fine though, because the positioning for the rest of Rave made it such that they couldn't get on top of the Tinker as well. It's just that when the Axe, played by Rio, goes into the secret shop like that, and you have no vision of him, and you still decide to fight in a clumped group, that's where things start to get really tricky for you.
Master's going straight into the Axe. So caught Kang, incoming, who is it? Rio cannot blink, but it's still got a cooldown. And caught out the Tinker again?
That was a really, really good setup by Cass. Patient there, waiting out. Now, whatever lead Underminer has pretty much evaporated.
See, rolled up, Mr. Claire. People are just
Actually,
dead here.
yeah, this... No, he's got Refract up. And the rest of Rave can rotate.
He's got blink. Does he go for this?
Yeah, I think he's gonna...
Oh, he definitely goes for this. No strike, wham, into the face as Chrissy will look to refraction now. In comes the Juggernaut. Laguna Blade and Omni Slash. will
Okay,
finish
that
it
one
off.
he didn't have to go for. But still, I mean, space created. You killed
Dire's top
the
tower is under
Beastmaster.
attack.
You had to rotate every single hero over. AO, meanwhile, just gets more and more farms as time goes on.
Oh, the jump in. They got the pull down the cloud down. With Geo coming in, there's no Omni Slash. He has to spin and pray. He can't slow him
No
down.
growth either. I don't think they can grab that. That was
Radiant's
weird.
middle tower is
The
under
wasp thing
attack.
just spawned in front of there.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn off this moonlight thing. I forgot to do it.
Fortified.
Fine. In middle lane, your tower's getting quite low. King is on the high ground. He's gonna spam this out. Looks like Dagon, potentially. I really would have rather seen something or the
Ghost
Ghost Scepter.
Scepter.
I think he needs to take top of that. I guess if he plays it a little bit more carefully with the getaway, and going for that bottom one too is a little bit.
Oh, that's it. Sentry. Another sentry. Place. Okay, double sentries to take down Cass. Slow down that Aghanims, but more importantly, just limit how much these guys running around, searching for the Tinker, searching for openings for Rio and his Axe, really to capitalize on.
Finally starting to build up a good bank. Troll has been pretty uncontested. The crazy thing is, considering how much the Troll has been able to just uncontested push down
Dire's
lanes,
top
the
tower is
Juggernaut
under
is still
attack.
ahead of him in terms of net worth.
Well, a fair amount as well.
Yeah, it's not even that good. It's like a grand. He's got a Manta with a Mask of Madness at 20 relative farm to the rest of the game. What did he steal?
Radiant's middle
Spins?
tower is under
Level
attack.
1.
Dire's
I don't even
top
know if
tower
it's
is
worth it
under
to try to
attack.
steal his spells at that point, because spin level 1 and the heal level 1 are kind of irrelevant. Oh, I guess it's level 3 now. Yeah.
And with Axe and Treant, you know, they've got pretty FDH people. Bad at all. But that's kind of unusual, actually. Usually we see the sort of 1-1-2 and then go for a ton of stats, but he is level 15. 20 minutes in and he's level 15, so he's had the time and space to level up his abilities after those stats. While Jo going for the full 4-4-4. Sometimes we see like a 4-2-4 build, especially from Chinese teams. Just lay to farm a little bit harder and faster. Don't necessarily need the magic burst from the Welling axes, especially since the blind and the slow from the melee and Rave don't really scale at all. It's just the damage goes up by 50 per level, I think, on the jump in on the cloud with the battle crown to right click him down. There's no way you're getting all this back. That's going to turn back onto Rio with the Roar and Laguna Blade.
You like that trade though if you're Rave.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Middle right now. But it gets the lift off.
He's got his blink, but
He's getting so low
Laser,
already.
oh, tank caught up in the overgrowth jail. Consider turning and fighting this.
And if you're Rave, you have to get out of here. Like, you can't fight this.
Until Chrissy jumps in into the middle of a bunch of marches.
Yeah, this isn't the fight for Rave. They have to be so careful, but still, that trade is honestly worth it for Rave. You killed the highest net worth, and all it costs is your axe, who's pretty much got all the items that you want. Axe, I don't know if it's reasonable to say he's the best counter to Jug, because he's the best counter to everybody. Like, that hero is so good at doing everything.
Jumping, catching, chasing, finishing. Axe is a great all-rounder.
Yeah, he's just the best hero.
The best hero ever.
Just get to do something.
Is that going to be a BKB from Chrissy? I'm assuming so. So
Radiant's middle
it
tower
could be.
is under attack.
Could be Desolator. Got pretty decent armor over in the jungle. It's only at 17 right now.
I would be surprised if he got a BKB, considering, like, the only thing he'd be able to block is, I guess, some of Tinker's damage, but the Roar still goes through.
Slash still goes
Yeah,
through.
the Omni Slash still goes through.
I was thinking more of the roar. I guess if he gets roared,
If he gets roared, it's relevant.
Light Strike Array, Laguna Blade, it's over anyway. Ancient Seal is annoying, but with the Yasha you can go into a Mountain X anyway. Yeah, it's going to be a
Yeah,
death for
exactly.
him.
I think going for spot damage here. Oh, and he actually spotted that out. He knew that rotation was coming over him. Out. Got out of dodge. Hang.
They're all invis. They're all invis, you know. Tang is lifted up. Rio jumps.
Silence at the same time. He gets roared. He's gonna go down so quickly here, but the Juggernaut bounces so much.
Jo, Ninja Boogie, but the roll was stolen by Ninja Boogie. Rubik turns things back around as Cass is dropping low. They've got vision. They can see him.
Radiant's bottom tower has
The question
fallen.
is going to keep on trucking with the living armor. It doesn't help you through the crits.
Great fight right now for Underminer. I mean, Ninja Boogie is just doing so much work right now. He
Radiant structures
stole
are
the roar.
fortified.
And so he stole the roar once. He stole the Juggernaut, which the Juggernaut was able to, which enabled them to get the kills. And if he doesn't steal the roar there, I actually think the Juggernaut is able to kill both of them.
Yeah.
So by him stealing the roar right there, he makes that fight salvageable. Like, Rave lose, what, 100 gold net, and they only give up like 900? That could have been game-changing.
Who did the Rubik lift actually? It was the Tinker?
Yeah, he lifts the Tinker.
And then Rio didn't get the call on. So a little bit of Cloud wants it, but without Omni Slash there's no real way of chasing it through.
That's a haste. So if the Axe doesn't get the initiation like he wants there, the fights do go for Underminer. So like the hope is if you're Rave that you get one pick off really quickly with the Axe, hopefully on a key target. Like if you get the Beastmaster before his Roar, if you get the Tinker or the Juggernaut at that point, you're perfectly happy with that sort of initiation, even if you lose the Axe at that point. But if you don't get the initiation off on Cloud especially, he just does so much damage with his ult. He rips Rio apart.
Some things that Underminer had before that fight was the Yule Scepter on Lina. I didn't see who she sent up into the air, but pretty useful. You know, you just take out the Troll or TA. Maybe not Troll now he's got that BKB completed. Yeah, it's going to be popping that and jumping in. I'm going to guess he goes for something like a Blink next. Being able to keep up with the TA, jump in onto a target that Axe is called up.
If you're the Lina, maybe even use the Axe there. As soon as he blink calls, just yules him up in the air. Like, you're still disabled for the time being and you can't do anything. But at the same time, it's some sort of counter to him.
Whose pause is this? Rave again.
Just take a guess. without hitting the enter button, who could it possibly be?
I wanted to double check.
Who could it possibly be?
Because I'm pretty sure that with the admin said they couldn't have any more pauses, but
I mean, honestly,
I
if
don't know.
Underminer want to pause for like the next hour and a half to go eat, and they want to go across town to go to like a special McDonald's, I'd be okay with that.
a special McDonald's.
Yeah, where they actually have good barbecue sauce, which is something that every other country doesn't. They don't have good barbecue sauce for McDonald's. I went to Canada. Their chicken nugget sauce, really weird.
I didn't realize that that was a thing.
Yeah.
Like I've had the situation
I'm
where
a foodie, man.
well, I've had the situation where in like Australia and Southeast Asia, the chocolate
Yeah.
tastes different, and Sprite and Fanta. I know you were talking to Cap about that.
Yeah, Sprite
Thing-
tastes weird everywhere but America too. Those are the only two things that I'm elitist about when it comes to America. Barbecue sauce and Sprite.
I don't know. In the UK, we've started taking on a lot of the American recipes, especially since like
Really?
a lot of our companies have been taken over by the US, Cadbury's and like that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of, you know, the Cadbury creations? Have you had those? Like
Yeah.
the one with like,
The Pop Rocks and the
that's
jelly
Purge's
beans
favorite
and-
candy bar.
Really?
Yeah, not even close. He
Nice.
actually, he went to the airport and bought a bunch of them. Time we were there, he was so excited. I was gonna bring some back for him the next time.
So excited. It looks like Rave get another 5 minutes. Just racking up, racking up the pause time. But yeah, I think a lot. 15 minutes, and we get to what 35 to 25 to 3, and then you've got 25 minutes to finish off the third game. If Rave win this, of course. Things are definitely going to be delayed a little bit because of these pauses, but hopefully this will turn out okay. Obviously, on the flip side, if Underminer win this game number 2, then everything should be fine schedule-wise. Should be. Fingers crossed and hope for the best. Cloud farming up the engines right now is going in straight into that Scardia. Looks like the ultimate all picked up after that Manta is done. Rio, Nature's Guys. Started off with Trin going inwards and scouting around to try and find openings for the Axe. Now Axe is the one who can go and find the Blink call for himself with
Just with
level 3, level 4.
Yeah, just with because right now you don't need the damage that you get from it. The thing that's even more important than that is just the fact that you can get initiations off with this axe with just going through one. They don't have sentries on top of that. It becomes way too hard at that point. But scat them out. And it's a significant investment to just kind of have to continue to buy sentries to counter that type of initiation at all times.
But yeah, you look at CK and Scarlet Mage, he's got 500 gold, his net worth is pretty low. I think it's...
They get checked out.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
Well, even that, 850 HP, you've got the Deso Yasha, Refraction... Okay, it's going to be 2 shots, but Meld is going to take 90% of his HP.
Yeah, he's gonna actually die so quickly. Anything hits him, it's like a feather, you just go... he just like blows away.
A mild breeze will knock him over. Troll did go for that Blink Dagger.
Not troll. Mild breeze will knock that guy over.
Oh no. Closing in on 2k HP.
He's got like the highest strength gain or something. Milk was talking about it's like higher strength gain than like half the strength heroes that you notice.
Really?
Yeah.
It's 2.2.
I don't know, dude. I'm just going by what Milk is saying. That guy's a League of Legends player now, so he was probably wrong.
Pretty sure. Oh.
Let's just pretend like I said nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just so tired right now. I don't know what I'm saying.
Maybe you're right. I don't want to think about it though. Gen Y did go for the gem that you mentioned, so they'll try and gain map control through the Hawk and gem. Smoke up.
Almost everyone gets second item gem with
Yeah.
the Beastmaster. It gives you so much map control, and you need one too against TA. Yeah, against the TA. Well, it's not just the TA, it's the Trin especially. And right now they know what's up though.
Blink is going up too low. Rio finds Gen Y Cloud with the Yoke Stroke on the front down the axes. Late mail to nothing.
Oh, they didn't get
Swipe swing.
They didn't actually get their spells off. Beastmaster Ward didn't get off. Kang.
Oh,
Jo actually spots him out.
Ghost Scepter though. Kang blinks out. The Ghost Scepter saving his life. Blinks on cooldown in 5 seconds for the troll, but they can't catch up. Yeah. So who actually got the Roshan and picked it up? Dire kills it. TA picks it up.
He ripped apart the Beastmaster. If the Beastmaster was able to get Roar off, yeah. But they thought he was trying to wait out something. Like he didn't want to use it on a TA that has Refraction and, you know, he's got an Ace as well. But not going to be that useful. But wow, that fight just going all the way for Rave's side. Like Underminer were there instantly too. But it just goes to show you with the Deso TA and a Troll Warlord with Rage, it's just too hard right now at this point.
Pretty. So, actually, Skywrath. Blink is off cooldown in 5 seconds of the traps. Christie's trying to catch up, but he's walking into 3 or 4 here. Cloud doesn't have ultimate back. Actually blocks himself. I get blocked in by Christie's illusion.
With the way that Blink has changed in regards to the refraction. It's so hard to catch her out at that point once she has blink up. Underminers, they're in a weird position where they at one point had something good going, but now with 2 consecutive Roshans given up, and especially with it going on to the TA, who's absolutely massive at this point. And if you're Underminer too, like, you have to disable Chrissy, and the only way that you really disable her, either with a laser or by bursting her down, or using the roar. But you really want to use your roar on a TA with an Aegis at this point and a Manta and a Blink Dagger? Probably not.
A little bit difficult. Because that Manta is going to be so useful now. Against Laser, against Ancient Seal. Jumping out of everything. Even if she pops it before the roar happens.
Yeah, if you're Underminer, ignore the TA and you lose the fight because he does the most damage in the game. But if you target TA, focus the TA, she's going to Aegis. I think you just have to wait it out or look for pick-off. Best thing.
22 situations for 3.5, 4 minutes. How long does it
They're still getting aggressive though, like them being able to take that tier 1 at top is actually quite impressive. And the Juggernaut's actually gotten really huge at this point too. Got a full Scotty completed. His farm actually hasn't slowed down too much.
We're looking at last hit wise. 275 on the Troll, while Juggernaut 236. But net worth wise, you know, TA, like you said, is leading the charge right now. These were 2 heroes that were relatively far behind the Juggernaut. Tinker has some catching up to do. Went the Dagon level 1, and then Ghost Scepter, and now Hex actually.
Okay, I agree with this decision, because he needs some way to engage in, and right now he doesn't have one.
Can you kill him?
It'd be so risky, he doesn't know what's behind him.
Yeah.
They have no ward, that'd just be a blind dive at that point. And if you were super far behind, yeah, you could justify doing that, but they're not at the position where they're so far behind with damage.
Pretty decent amount of damage put onto the tier 2 mid there by Chrissy and Jo. Rip it to shreds. It's down to what, 300 HP? And that's, oh man. BKB for the TA. How do you stop her now? How do you actually stop her?
I didn't know if the BKB was necessary, but her getting it essentially assures her
invincibility.
Yeah, she's gonna do so much. It's just an added bonus, and I think Rave are gonna try to hit this timing or this TA with a 10-second BKB, right? Even if you get Beastmaster Roared at that point, don't want to focus her with the Jug Ultimate, because at the same time, KO has so much farm at this point. Like, everybody from Rave is actually getting a lot of core items. Like, some of the axe as well, which isn't too necessary, but still it helps.
Rio nearly finds Kang in the trees, while Jo has 4,000 gold saved up. Yeah, the TA BKB means that she can just jump onto the Lina, Skyrath, Beastmaster, whoever the hell she wants, and force them to use spells defensively. So you're going to see Lina using herself instead of using
exactly.
an enemy hero to life strike array. You're going to see Skyrath Mage just, throwing out everything as quickly as you can. As a Skyrath, you kind of want to, have a second or two just to think, okay, Mystic Flare gets placed there. I'm going to Ancient Seal this guy, Arcane Bolt if things start kicking off relatively quickly. But if the TA jumps on you, you just have to button mash and hope things go for the best.
Everyone has a plan until they get hit.
Oh, they actually lost the gem? Beastmaster just bought a new one.
Really?
Yeah, Cass has the gem from the Beastmaster original, or Skyrath originally, actually.
So he's picked up the gem of his own. The Aegis does fall, which is what Underminer were hoping for, and they lost a tier 2 out of it, or 2 tier 2s, but you're okay with that, because if you take the fight at this point, it's over, and you've got the Rubik with the Aghanims, so we'll deal with this one. You've got the Beastmaster Roar,
Laguna Blade,
the Skyrath Ultimate,
yep.
Juggernaut Ultimate as well. This is actually a dream Ags.
I did the same thought process as that. I went through those 4 heroes, then I thought, okay, well, Tinker also has an Axe upgrade, but I know that it's been glitchy in the past, where you have to actually be Tinker, the hero itself, to get the upgrade. Is that going to be the same? Do you get 4 rockets as an Aghanim's Rubik, or do you just steal rockets? So I know in ARDM, this was obviously a couple months ago, where I got rockets as a skill, and I thought, okay, Aghanims, I'm going to get the 4 rockets, and I didn't. We'll see. Well, we might see what happens there. More likely than not, the Tinker's just going to, throw rockets, Dagon, and throw a laser and march out. It's not going to be possible for Ruby to steal it.
That's kind of weird because it's like it's not a specific scale you're stealing because it extends the laser range as well.
Yeah.
So it's weird in the sense that I feel like it's not going to be compatible, but if it does, it would. A very
Another
vanilla
little-
statement, I mean.
Well, it's one of those little nuances that Dota 2 doesn't have a convention for. You know, there's no real standard for that, Chrissy. Who you looking for?
He doesn't have the Aegis. There's no good way to initiate on him. And Beastmaster doesn't have anything like a dagger. So if Underminer want to get in a fight, I mean the only successful fight that Underminer has had so far is aside from the laning phase. That one time Axe actually missed the initiation onto the Tinker. That was the only, and then he got blown up, and that was the only successful fight they've had. So right now I feel like that's kind of been the weaknesses in Underminer's lineups is that they just don't pick the best ways to start fights.
Get the chain X off it, job is flash. What do you consider? Get the right foot down and then put the first up into the air. The Laguna Blade drops a blow, but it needs so much more damage. Okay, they expend almost everything. Mystic Flare is the last ulti that, well, Omni Slash and Mystic Flare are the two big spells that weren't used, but taking down the Axe is a big deal.
Killing him for absolutely nothing too, perfectly fine. A decent gold swing for Underminer right there, being able to kill him. I thought for a second he was going to live, and you don't usually want to use the Beastmaster for the last hit like that. But it was better than having to spend the Juggernaut one.
Yeah.
Just because the cooldown is so low compared to the Jug one.
Nearly back off cooldown right now. So Underminer, they find that pick off, but they can't go and take a tower. They can't really push in the Rave side of the map. Actually, Korean has the Axe, he's got the gem. He's going to be really down to this Beastmaster, hunting down these eyes in the forest and chopping them down with his axes. Well, Lina can do it as well with Light Strike Array. So these two heroes, look, they're actually doing it now. Where are the eyes? Can we find any?
Master's actually like the best. There actually isn't many. My vision. Casting from you.
Beastmaster, Lina, and that's it.
Not though.
Yeah.
Even the Beastmaster got axes. You get a Calling Blade on top of that.
I mean, we've seen Fat Rider, Storm Spirit, Timbersaw, of course. There's plenty of heroes that can do it, but not all of them are regular picks.
Got an MKB. How would he swing?
Basher.
Well, he's got a Demon Edge first.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that's a deal with the.
Also preempting possible butterflies out, but Jo not going for one. He's basically 6-slotted with a Skadi done. Finish off the Satanic and then what? Look to sell Sataniata later on for a bigger item.
Yeah. Less than why get a data lit.
Yeah.
Sell on this. Get an MKB of your own.
Rissy. Manta, Deatho, BKB, Blink with TP Scroll. So still one item slot remaining really. Cloud finishes off that MKB. DK is still walking around with brown boots. He's got 1200 gold, but I think he's trying to save up for Ghost Scepter. Just get me that Ghost Scepter and let me live.
Drag finishes his.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I mean, if he gets his ultimate off before his entire team dies, they'll be okay. And it depends on which target he goes for as well. He needs to get on top of Jo or Chrissy too. At the same time, Rio is a disruptive threat at this point as well, that it's hard to really judge who you want to. The next Roche fight though is going to be Rave get another uncontested Roshan on one of their core heroes. I feel like the game at that point is really difficult for Underminer. All your tier 2s, with the exception of the one. But I don't even know if Rave really cares about that at that point. Like, go down mid, take that one while pushing it. Pretty much won the fight at that point.
Well, Tinker's done a good job on this top lane, just keeping the momentum going, forcing Rave to react to it. But if Tinker is off, doing his own thing, and he gets caught in a situation where, you know, he drops like half mana, has to TP back to base to regen up, his teammates have to be very aware of what phase of his routine he's in. Because if he gets caught and he can't TP straight into a fight, he has to be there initially. He has to be there, like, right now.
Yeah, they need to be... Sorry, right
It's
now.
gone, set.
Four wasn't in position.
To the die.
I mean, the Hawk should definitely have been scouting it out. You know, now with this Aegis, all they have to do at this point, I think, is get into a 5-on-5 fight with 2 up. You've got a cheese and an Aghanim Scepter on your Rubik. You've got an Aghanim Scepter. Pretty much everybody that needs an axe. Like the axe. They don't anticipate a
Tower
fight.
is under attack.
There's a Hex on the TA now too. That's insane.
What?
You got so much fun.
I did not expect that. Pretty good against that Tinker. Goes into Ghost after he tries to juke his way around, blink through the tree, just hex him up, stop that from happening.
The way that Underminer win this next coming fight is that King has to play out of his mind. He actually has to get into this 1v5 scenario where somehow he doesn't get caught out by the 8 things that can catch him out.
Oh, Chrissy. Chrissy starts off with a hex. The battle transit. Cloud is dropping it so quickly. Man pops, but this gets a couple of targets. Maybe the flash comes down. Chrissy's gonna stop. He's still getting into the vocal, so it should be fine for now. As Rave. And that was a pretty ballsy play. The Juggernaut has to go and change his trousers. I'll be pretty freaked out by that TA jumping in and obliterating me within like a second and a half.
Yeah, Chrissy actually just craziest amount of damage that quickly with the next time he goes over. And if the rest of Underminer weren't there, he actually would have died for certain. Here's the right at that point. Now they can get on top of this. JO gets next up though.
There's no launch, there's
The
no
axe actually uses them up in the air. You don't want to overcommit if you're racing this, because losing the axe at that point would be disastrous for JO. He gets hexed up again.
Well, Chrissy jumps in and goes trying to find Kang, but that's a good duel jump from the TA. Landing large strike away, Liam jumps in and trying to counter the TA, but again, obliterated by the Laguna Blade. Now the old jump! That's great! Takes down the control. Union men defending really strongly here against the direction of
They
Rave.
can kill Chrissy again. This fight will be perfectly
Where's
fine.
Axe? Where's Kang? They've got it in. Ninja Boogie tries to turn it around, but Chrissy's getting hit down and critted
That's a
by
BKB
Cloud.
charge too. If NB goes down as well, this is going to be the entirety of...
Oh wow. The inverse.
should be
They've got
okay.
Gem. They've got Gem on the Beastmaster. Where is he? He can't close the gap as
They blink
Tinker.
up. No, they're not able to find either of those heroes, but it doesn't matter. You don't care if you lose either of those heroes at that point.
Wait, what?
Okay, so Chrissy wasn't... Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't have his BKB. I missaw that. You remember? Because he dropped it for the...
Aegis
for the
Immortal.
Aegis, yeah.
Huh.
Man, that...
You couldn't wish for a better fight. You get the blink down on the Beastmaster, Aghanim's on the Lina.
The fact that an Ag's Lina is available now too, it actually just negates the troll. Like the troll, you might even want to get something like a Lincoln's at this point, because what ended up happening there is that JO just got chain hexed non-stop. And at that point, he wasn't able to get anything off. Like the Tinker just went in, so much damage, and they just outfought them. Rave committed so hard. The axe got the home so quickly, and this is actually going to be such a huge swing for Underminer now.
I think as Rave, you want that sort of three-shot attack. You want the TA to jump off the one side, like heading out to the other, cast that, slow you down, but that's not where you want to be. You're going to play to finish him off, in fact. It's looking for some confidence. You'll jug it, yeah, but I don't know about this. The cool smoke with these on BKB. Take almost very low, but Cloud is tanky as all hell. Stolen the light strike array. Okay.
That fight was perfectly fine for him. Got the Juggernaut. Don't really lose anybody aside from the tree. That fight's okay, but the previous fight before that, much. If you're Rave right now, I mean, your option probably is just maybe force Juggernaut to buyback, and then you look at pickoffs, but at the same time, getting into another engagement where you have to overextend, like maybe if Underminer perfectly fight this out, they throw down the axes, spamming spells with the Lina, and you wait for another overcommit from Rave, you...
PA brought back to defend this. Used BKB, now on cooldown. It feels risky to go and force the buyback from Jug, because if he does buyback, he's got Omni Slash and could potentially just wreck you in a fight. If they kill Chrissy again, that's near to game over, I feel.
Doesn't have buyback. What's going on right now, that the Tinker's getting so huge. All of Rave's focus right now is on that Juggernaut, but secretly this Tinker amassed like a Bruce Wayne type of fortune where got item after item, like that's a fully completed Big on 5. I assume he'll go for the F-Blade first. The amount of damage that you would be able to put out at that point would be monstrous. Force a BKB, but then the Lina, what level is she?
Oh
She's
yeah.
got a level 3 ultimate as well,
yeah.
so Now even popping the BKB, you have to pop it at full HP. But even then, it doesn't even really save you, because if you pop it, then you get roared and you just get right-clicked. How much HP does everybody have? That's like more than half of Rio's HP. That's like a third of Jo's life. That's nearly half of Christie's as well.
Goodbye, Rubik. It's been nice knowing you.
Rubik would almost hit. So the fact that you've got a support Lina that can disrupt so much in these fights now makes it really difficult for get into a high ground situation. And they can defend the high ground infinitely. Kang doesn't get picked off and he's got a buyback. Great to Dagon 4 actually.
No, still Dagon 3.
Dagon 3. It just looks weird.
I think that Dagon 3 into E-Blade is pretty common, where you've got that magic bursts, what is it, 700 damage? No, 600, yeah.
Yeah.
And then E-Blade, you can use it defensively as well. We saw you pulled the Ghost Scepter pretty early up against the TA and Troll.
There was no way he was not going to get one.
But once you got E-Blade, you can throw that down onto the Skyrath if it gets jumped on.
The fact that, I mean, 10 times out of 10 you grab Scepter if you're anybody on under. Lina grabbed one, I'd be okay with that. If Skyrath has one himself, the amount of damage that Rave puts out that's entirely physical. Getting a Ghost Scepter gives you some. Roshan, be up yet, but Miner, this they want to make. Get aggressive here. If you catch the out with the Hex or BKB, the fight's almost entirely over. But it looks like Rave actually spot this out.
Oh,
they're just 5-manning.
If you find the TA, they want to kill Kang, but the rest of Underminer are ready. They can't find the Roar in the Skyrath. Maybe you'll see
For the Roar,
the
they go down so quickly. And actually, the trio was used as well. Underminer just have to get out of here, but the chase potential from Rave is actually quite decent, but it doesn't look like they're able to get anybody on top of that. That was...
They lose the Beastmaster for 60 seconds.
He was too far in.
Yeah.
They lose the Gem too, which is the bigger commitment.
He blinked in. He wanted the Roar into Mystic Flare. I didn't see what target they were going for, but they missed completely. But you've burnt BKB charges. Down to 8 seconds on the TA and 8 seconds on the Troll. It's not that big a deal. You're definitely pushing it that way.
It's bigger news for the... They get down to 5-second BKBs,
yeah.
And it's honestly entirely on this Tinker right now. Tinker plays well, the game becomes really difficult for Rave. As obvious as that sounds, Tinker has to not get caught out at all costs. And he's been doing that right now. He's been working the tree line, and the way that the Tinker moves actually is random. Like he, in the mid-team fight where they had to defend their base, like he was getting aggressive when I didn't expect him to get aggressive.
Oh yeah, he blinked like
he was like blinked right on top of the Troll to try to start the fight. Like that, that's hard to predict for things like that. Definitely an unpredictable fight though. Like Rave didn't see that initiation coming, but at the same time I feel like Underminer just a little bit, they underperformed. Haha.
Haha, indeed.
Getting into that type of fight. But
well, if the tier 2 was down, I could fully understand
they were so far in committed, and I don't think that like you're not even in a position where you're actually that far behind. Like the Tinker's net worth doesn't really matter because of rearm. It's like you can use everything twice at least. So it's irrelevant how much once you get Hex and thing, your net worth at that point. Like,
Saving up money. I saw the Void Stone over on Rubik. I was wondering if he goes for the Yules or try and save up for a Hex, but I guess it's such a big item for a little old Rubik to try and save up for. He's managed to get Axe and Blink, which even that's a little bit surprising. His farm rate has been very good indeed. Keeping up with Axe. He's actually ahead of the Lina, who we've praised for having such great itemization.
Yeah, the Lina especially is built. Item progression has been solid throughout. Got more net worth than the Rubik still has net worth out of non-core heroes, but still thought up quite nicely. Good job of keeping up. And her ultimate this game is so useful. Scary thing now though is just to be really careful about using the 3-spell combo. She gets her ultimate stolen back. Underminer don't have tanky heroes to say the least. Like how do you feel with Skyrath? Like
yeah, barely.
That almost gusts the win.
So what you're looking at, Yules, Light Striker, Raid, Laguna Blade, and then Dragon Slave straight after, just to make sure Ninja Boogie doesn't steal it.
Because so far in these fights, Ninja Boogie actually hasn't sold anything too big.
Jump in and roll. They're almost to BKB just in time, but the Laguna Blade rips right through it as Cloud hits and crits, but the Satanic to
Cloud,
turn
you
around.
have to pop your ultimate here. You have to pop your ult here. There's no way that you wait that long.
Along with a missing flare, they'll finally kill off Jayo, who actually doesn't have 5-axe. Kang. Go away.
Alright, that was the power of Troll. That was so scary.
Shit.
I don't know why he didn't just... I think he was just trying to be a little bit too greedy there. But once he has BKB with Satanic pop, you just have to pop it. There's no reason to risk it. Because imagine if any single hero from Rave were there. Like, if he actually called that, the Jug is 100% dead, and you might even see Jayo survive here. It's not even worth the risk at that point. And Jayo doesn't have buyback. And I mean, Rave, a little bit on their back heels right now. They don't want to get into a 4v5 fight against a Tinker with a head. That's the last thing that you want to do.
Oh, let's see. Go on, cast the rockets. How many rockets do you get? How many rockets do you get? Please. Give him a target to shoot rockets. Chrissy didn't have a TP and I was going to look at that thinking, okay, Underminer, they push into tier 3. But
If Underminer get lucky, maybe the Roshan spawns like right when they won Beckett, and yes, it's right there. This is the Roshan for them to take 40 seconds gold. Buyback. There is an Abyssal Blade now on this Juggernaut as well, so now you've got 2 different ways to deal with Jayo and his BKB.
oh, yeah. The trap spots them out, but Rave, your route in, cast. You can't go for a steal, you can't go for any play like that. Gen 1, Gen Y will hurt Rave thing in here.
Yeah, King is just going to spam out as well. Yeah, actually picks up the Aegis of the Immortal, which isn't...
There's no slots.
Yeah, there's no slots on the Jug or the Tinker at this point. Tinker so gold. He's got 56 gold. Maybe complete your Dagon. What level is still 3? Only? So I mean, you could complete Dagon 5 right now and still have buyback.
There we go.
So that's what he goes for. He's gonna do so damage in these fights right now. On top of the fact that once he gets his Ghost Scepter, and with the BKBs getting as low as they are, he could actually completely negate like 2 heroes in one fight. It's gotten to that point in this game.
Still sitting up at 8. Oh man.
Rio have buyback.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Yeah, with Rio having buyback, you're probably okay. So why you have BKB up, or the Abyssal Blade. If those 3 spells will...
Sounds good to me. Omni Slash is ready for Cloud as they're pushing up top tier 2.
Almost everybody from Underminer have a buyback. So for them getting aggressive here, awesome game. At worst, you force off the Axe by then. And as long as the Tinker doesn't buy too,
Tower is under attack.
nicely. All he has to do is spam. It's only 2 rockets, right?
It only hit Cloud.
Dire's
I think he only has vision on
fallen.
one guy. So we'll
Still
never
no
know.
resolution.
We'll never know. Hopefully in 10 seconds time he'll get vision onto a couple heroes. Oh, he won't die. Please. Come on. Another hero. No, he gets roared up. Ninja Boogie. He's not going to have the chance to use the 4 rockets. We'll never find out. As Cloud has the other side ready. The Cloud Blade is top. Cast is ripped apart. The Abyssal Blade will take down Jail with the only flash coming back on the Chrissy. Kang's dead. Chrissy takes out the Tinker. Cloud is getting taken out as well. Like such a way. Allows Cloud to survive for a second longer. Healing up. Healing forward. Keeps him off. That's the Scotty. He's actually still alive.
No, he gets chopped down. He just buyback for that fight though.
The defense. Void respawns, but it's a leader. It's a 60
This is gonna go down though.
Buyback's available. Axe does not have it though.
Axe actually goes down as well, and Cloud actually is bought back as well. So you've got 2 heroes alive for Rave, you've got 5 alive for Underminer. The healing ward was already used, so the Lena's going to be quite low. But I think this is actually going to be a really nice commitment by
War. Where's the follow-up? They've got Hex.
There's a Hex.
They've got Hex. Yeah,
This
this is pretty much game over now. This is caught out. There's no way he can come back into the fight. 120 seconds on the sideline. 1 laner Axe, 2 lanes. The base now belongs to Underminer as Rave.
I think they actually just go for Throne at this point.
J.O., where can you go, boy?
Jayo's so far in a position that even if he comes back at this point, I mean, yeah, traveled up, so it doesn't really matter, but still, at best, you're fighting like a 2v3 fight.
Hex stops caught out. J.O. jumps in. 1 2 so far. The BKB jumps in. He's going to lose the blade now. Let's back down from Cloud. The blade's still in cool now. Just use the pistol blade. This looks like it is.
Done as well. Kane's coming back out of the fight. Really brilliant play by Kane. Honestly, I thought that mostly was Underminer did.